There's not much I enjoy more in life than making pasta. Gnocchi is one of my favorite things to make. Now, traditionally, a gnocchi is made with potato, but I'm gonna make it with cheese, both Wisconsin Parmesan and Wisconsin ricotta. Ricotta, ricotta, tomato, tomata, that I strained out all the extra liquid in. That goes in my bowl. I'm using this Parmesan. It's made by a master cheesemaker. There's only about 50 of them in the United States, and they are all in Wisconsin. It has that great crystallization to it, that nice caramely flavor. And this is a beautiful cheese. A little bit of all-purpose flour, which I sifted. A little bit of lemon zest. I'm just gonna grate that in there. Now, a lot of times when I'm making a gnocchi or a pasta, I'll put a little bit of salt in the dough. In this case, we get that real naturally salty flavor from the Wisconsin Parmesan, so not necessary. That goes in the bowl, right in. Now we just want to let this all come together. Do not overwork it because that's going to make the dough tough. So just stir, stir. Now typically gnocchi are made with potato, but sometimes they're a little bit heavy, sometimes they're a little bit tough. To me, you make them with ricotta and you make them with Parmesan, they stay a lot lighter and you can put them together very quickly. I can make these gnocchis in like 3 minutes. They're ready to cook, ready to go. And in my opinion, they have a lot more flavor. Never miss an opportunity to add flavor. Take a little bit of just an all-purpose flour, and you just want to get a nice dry surface here. Okay, so I have a Sicilian grandmother, and this is a recipe that I kind of adapted to her. And one of my mentors, Jonathan Waxman, also taught me how to make these too. So my grandmother always made them with potato, but Waxman taught me how to make them with this cheese so they get really nice and light. You just roll them out just like this. So right on the tray, anything you're making with a flour in it, you want to let it rest a little bit. So I put this in the refrigerator, which really helps kind of the whole dough come together. Just like that. These are rolled out. I'm going to put them in the fridge, let that flour bloom for about 30, 40 minutes. If you're gonna make a dish that is super simple and there's not a lot to hide behind, you wanna use a perfect, really fantastic cheese. And that Parmesan to me is the perfect complement to the gnocchi. All right, so here's the other cool thing about this gnocchi. I'm gonna cook it right in the pan. I'm gonna add a little bit of butter and we're gonna make a brown butter sauce. It's gonna be fantastic. So right in, as that's starting to melt, I'm gonna start cutting up my gnocchi. So gnocchis are out of the fridge, they've chilled a little bit, that flour's bloomed. Now watch, we just put a little bit of flour on our cutter. So our Wisconsin ricotta and Parmesan gnocchis are cut. This is a really classic Italian sauce. When people think of Italian food, a lot of times they think of what is really American Italian. Yo, how you doing? Have some tomato sauce. This is a real kind of classic Sicilian sauce. You see the butter starting to brown right around the rim of the pan. Now, here's the other great thing about making a ricotta and Parmesan gnocchi. You don't have to boil them. They're gonna cook right in the pan. So the outside's gonna kind of form a skin, still gonna be nice and cheesy in the middle, have that nice creaminess, that lightness to it, and now finish building my sauce. So the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna slice up the shallots paper thin as we can. Same thing with the garlic. Now I take my shallots, I put those in first because the shallots are gonna take a little longer to cook than the garlic. For that, I have these big, beautiful sage leaves. They're gonna get a little crunchy, they're gonna infuse their flavor into the butter, and now you can smell all the aromas going on. You have that Wisconsin cheese, it's kind of caramelizing up, it's getting even more nutty. The perfume of the sage, the nuttiness of the butter. We're getting happy now. Garlic goes in. We have our lemon. Now I'm gonna take some of the juice. A little bit of water in the pan. It's gonna help this kind of emulsify a little bit. And then, now parsley. Parsley is a soft herb, but to get maximum flavor out of your soft herbs, add them at the end when you're just about off the heat. So I'm gonna set these aside. A little bit more Parmesan. Let's get a kind of little bit more of that caramely, salty goodness that we're looking for. Look at that, just melting down into the gnocchi. take our beautiful parsley leaves right on top. One more toss. Look at this. I'm telling you guys, little dumplings of love. Look at that.